Okay guys, Lee at Platinum Inca. Mark 8 Golf GTI. So this is coming for a kind of mid-level build, I would say. The reason I'm saying that is, yes, we're going to do A-pillars and not a door build, but speakers in the doors, fully sound deadened. But we're not going to go with a boot build in this car. He doesn't want to spend the money on a boot build. He wants to spend the money on quality, A-pillars, getting the sound right, rather than a showy build. So there's going to be not a lot to show in the boot, except for a slim Helix, one of their long, slim 10-inch sub boxes, with the really thin one that's really quite wide. It fires down so you can throw stuff on top of it. They're a nice bit of kit, to be fair. So the money's being spent on basically A-pillars, Micro Precision 7 Series tweeter, Micro Precision 5 Series mid, and 5 Series mid bass in the door. To keep the costs to a kind of minimum. Amplifier is going underneath the seat. That's not bolted in yet. There will be a trim panel being hand built and going over that, so you don't see anything. So where the work and the money is going to be is, again, the speakers, the Helix V8 DSP, which I've just shown you underneath the seat, and then 5 Series mid and tweeter in an A-pillar build there. Kind of nice because we've got that triangle that we're going to lose, so we've got plenty of airspace for the mid, so there's going to be no peakiness in the response between kind of 800, 600 hertz that a lot of A-pillars give, because most people build them a little bit too small. So this is going to give us plenty of airspace for the driver. We're going to use that whole area there. So masking up to fiberglass. We start off by fiberglass in the top of the dash, and then we'll break out parts of the A-pillar to then fiberglass steel ring too, and then we bring the tweeter in at a later date. We'll show you all that as we go along. 5 Series mid bass in the door there, and then the pre-built sub in the boot. So it's not a showy build, it's purely about the sound quality. The customer's not after tons of bass. So yeah, that's the start. This is what we've got. We're going to be using factory source, and then we're going to be using Bluetooth integration direct from his mobile phone. So he's going to play music through his phone, Bluetooth directly to the V8 via Bluetooth. And then source will be via speaker levels. There's no most in this. There's no separate amplifier. So there's no most digital from the factory head unit. So yeah, pretty simple. We've laid some of the wires already. Got the power cable in. Got our lovely 8-core speaker cable in there. And XT60 connectors ready to go, so that all the speakers have fly leads with XT60 connectors and everything's plug and play. That's the kind of first video. There's going to be a load of videos on this as we go along each day, so stay tuned. So we have a Golf GTI Mark 8. Yeah, Mark 8, 21 plate. So I would say this is a build that is purely for the sound rather than competition, looks, you know, no boot build, no fancy perspex lighting in the back or any of that. The customer wanted a really good, really nice sound, and keep it lightweight, keep the boot space, and keep it simple. So we've used what we use quite a lot of. I'll move the seat back because you can just see the very top of the Helix V8 there. So the V8 powers the whole system. Yes, 8 channels of digital power with a DSP inbuilt and a Bluetooth card, so he can go straight from his phone straight into the system and power it via Bluetooth, so he gets, you know, lossless sound and all that sort of stuff. It also powers from the factory head unit as well via speaker lines, and then it'll automatically switch between the two because these Helix do that really well. So the main part of the build, and anybody that knows that in these Golfs you got a 6.5 in there and then a tweeter up in the A-pillar, it doesn't give you the best of sound. So we've got Micro Precision 5 Series 6.5 in the kit, in the door. Door's been sound deadened and egg crate foamed and all that usual stuff. And then 5 Series widebander, which we're using as a mid-range, with a Micro Precision 7 Series tweeter. 7 Series tweeter is always a good upgrade because it's a larger dome, plays the bottom end a bit better, it's a bit smoother and a bit sweeter than the 5 Series. Nothing wrong with the 5 Series tweeter, we use them all the time. And if you're going to play the 5 mid up high, you don't need the best of tweeters in the world. And in some cars we actually play these widebanders up to about 10k, and then we put a really cheap tweeter on the top end just to give you that sparkle and that air. But if you want to take things further, then playing a 7 Series tweeter give you that sweetness and those lovely dynamics that everybody's after in that top end. So 8 pillars were built. Usual method of fiberglass in the top of the dash, 3 layers of fiberglass, and then we've done our method of cloth around everything else. Mid is in a steel ring, tweeter is in perspex ring. It's all milkshaked and fiberglassed and lead shot in the back, so they're pretty weighty and pretty heavy. And yeah, customer is well happy. Seems to be a bit of a winning combination, the Helix V8 V12 with the Micro Precision. I think because the Micro Precision are very sensitive, nice soft parts, it works out really well. There's egg crate foam and some wadding behind that driver there as well. And what we've also done is, because this is a little window, we've tinted that window out so it's completely black limo, so you can't see anything from the back there. So the good thing is the A-pillar uses the whole of that area. It goes and uses everything around the driver. So there's loads of airspace and there's loads of volume there for everything, and it works really well, and it's great. And because the mid basses in the door down there have got some issues at kind of 180, 200 hertz, 250 hertz, the mid is actually playing down to about 170, 24 dB, so it gets rid of a load of phase issues and a load of problems and allows us to play it down low to get rid of those phase issues. I'm just going to take you around to the boot trunk, as you got Americans say, or rest of the world, I don't know, we use boot. And we're using the Helix 10-inch slimline box. It's neat, saves on doing a boot build, it's quick, It's on a plug, so you can remove it really quickly, and he keeps most of his boot space, so if he wants to throw stuff on top of it, he can do. He won't damage it, I'm sure, will you, John? I'm sure he won't damage it, but you can. The subwoofer plays from underneath. It sits up a little bit, so the subwoofer plays down firing, and if you want to put stuff on top of it, you can. So it's just a great option, and they don't tip, they don't fall over like a lot of subwoofers. So yeah, that subwoofer box, which we use a lot of, Helix V8, which we're, you know, crikey, at the moment we're using those things bloody, I don't know, we're using them probably every other week at the moment. And then Micro Precision, you know, we've talked about those quite a lot. Don't want to play too much of that through copyright reasons. So yeah, Micro Precision 5 Series and 7 Series 3-way front end. Helix pre-built sub box, so it's easy removable, saves on money. And then the Helix V8 amplifier, again, simple install underneath the seat, right down there. Saves on money, on big install time, and do you know what? Everybody that's heard them say, why would I want anything else? Because they are so good. We use the V8s and the V12s pretty much exclusively most of the time. And again, with the Micro Precision, it seems to be a winning combination. So John is really happy with the car. He's going to go away, have a good listen to it, and yeah, everything works great. It's one of those hatchbacks where doesn't seem to be many phase issues with the subwoofer. It integrates with the front mid basses in the door really well, gives you that kick and that punch and that extension in the bottom end, and works really well. So another one done, another one happy, onwards and upwards. Thanks for watching. Give us a like and a share and a subscribe. Lee at Platinum in Car.